Rock and roll Chicago, rock and roll Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock your city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best here around.
Hey, this is Paul Martin
and Ray the Roadie
for the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast. Happy New Year, Ray.
Happy New Year, Paul. Papa.
Papa.
Papa to the New Year.
Okay, what is that supposed to mean?
It means we're going to be doing some polka today.
Some polka in.
Polka in, yeah. Yeah, you and I should head down over there by that.
None of my business what you're doing over there.
We can head on over there, down by there to that Baby Doll Polka Club there, down by the Jewels.
I see. So you're telling me that we're talking to Eddie Korosa Jr. today, right?
Yes, we are. A legend in Chicagoland polka.
His father, Eddie Korosa Sr., obviously.
Yes. Ergo the Junior.
Right. Was the owner of the Baby Doll Polka Club and played polka music and wrote the Baby Doll Polka song, and he was a legend, and Eddie Korosa Jr. is as well.
Yes, he is. He's keeping on the music scene and the polka scene.
Yes, which we found out will never die.
Nope. Will never die.
Okay. All right. Well,
as long as Mama's got a squeeze box,
Daddy's not going to sleep at night.
That's right. Let's go see what Eddie has to say about himself, his legendary father, and the world of polka.
Let's do it. Welcome to the show, everyone. Today, in our endless search for musicians from Chicago, we've come across Eddie Korosa Jr. How are you, Eddie? The polka.
Feel good.
The polka master right here.
Appreciate that. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Ray.
How you doing, Eddie?
Excellent.
Great.
So Eddie, start us out with your history and with I know your dad was the Polka King, and
yes,
and he had the Baby Doll Polka Club. So and tell us about the early days. Let's start off there.
Well, back in the days, like you mentioned, my mom and dad owned the Baby Doll Polka Club. And that was a bar on the southwest side of Chicago, 7315 Southwestern Avenue. They opened that in 1954 and went from 1954 to 1980. And they would change locations by Midway Airport, 6102 South Central Avenue. And we had that from 1980 to 2004. So my mom and dad had 50 years of polka fun. And back in the early 1930s, my dad was voted America's Prince of Polkas. And he played the button accordion and had the bar, and just everybody loved him. And I'm trying to carry on the old Korosa tradition.
That's great. That's great. Now I understand you played drums you started out playing drums, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Started playing drums when I was 7 years old and played with my dad's band. And that was a lot of fun, playing drums at the Baby Doll Polka Club on a Sunday afternoon and going jobbing around sometimes with my dad and his band, the Merrymakers. A lot of fun.
I see you played you traveled quite a bit, played on television, played movies too.
Oh, yeah. Through my mom and dad's bar, the Baby Doll Polka Club, they ran annual tours to Europe, to Hawaii, Caribbean cruises. So we'd always take like 200 people with us wherever we went, and we would play polka music. We'd rent halls wherever we were and just had a gas, always fun. That was back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Now, as a kid, you played with your dad's band? Even what about school and what have you?
Oh yeah, well, weekends were the jobs. I still went to school. I went to St. Rene School in Chicago, St. Rita High School in Chicago, Moraine Valley, and where's that at? Palos
Hills.
Right. There you go. Yeah, and Palos Hills, right? And so that was a weekend kind of thing. And I was, traveling with my dad, mostly local, because we played mostly at his bar on a Sunday afternoon. I would kind of sit in with the boys in the band. So it was a good way to start.
Very good. Now I see your wife is playing with you now, right?
Oh, yeah. Boy, you noticed that, huh? Good. Well, her name was Michaeline, but I call it the girl drummer. She's been performing with us for about 5 years now, and never played drums before in her life. She's a retired hospital administrator, and one day I needed a drummer, and she goes, "I'll give it a try," and because her and I always used to go dancing and stuff, and she's got the great beat. And now I fired the other drummer. Now she's my real drummer. Got them all mad at me, but so the girl drummer's in the band.
I was looking at some of your videos, and I saw it said Eddie and the boys from Illinois. Right?
Correct. Yeah.
And it said with wife and wife.
And wife. Yeah. Because a lot of times we'd be playing, and the friends would be dancing, and they would say, "Wait a minute! All it says is boys from Illinois. What about the girl?" You know.
Yeah.
So I had to get the little signs made. And matter of fact, just the other couple months ago, I had to buy new band cards. It says boy and girl.
Oh,
the boys and girl from otherwise you know how women are.
Sure.
But it's a lot of fun.
Now tell us about the Baby Doll Polka Club. It closed. What year was that?
2004.
Yeah.
We closed in 2004, and that was a bar that every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, we had a live polka band, and we had a live radio show too, from the 50s to 2004, every Sunday afternoon on AM radio, 1490 AM. It was called the WOPA out of Oak Park. And my parents had the radio show every Sunday afternoon from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock.
Now, did you take the club over, or did you run the club for a while?
Well, I was always there. My mom and dad always owned it. My dad passed away in 1998, and my mom is still going strong, and she's 93 years old. Don't tell anybody I told you that. So she always ran the place, and the family always helped out.
That's great. That's great.
Mm-hmm. And it was a weekly, it was open 7 nights a week. On Western Avenue, and then when we went to Central Avenue. And then I started playing with my band there back in 1976. I started my band. I started playing accordion in the early 70s. And so then I started playing accordion, and I got my guys together, and we played there. I think our first job was on a New Year's Eve because the band canceled out, and my dad needed a band. So he said, "Well, son, I hate to have you play, but, so we played it, and I've been playing accordion ever since with the band. That was our first job. It was a New Year's Eve at the old Baby Doll, probably 1976. Yeah.
In my neighborhood where I grew up, I remember my folks would go over there some Sundays and just hang out.
Oh, that was Ray, that was the place to go.
Yep.
Every Sunday afternoon we had a live radio show. Actually, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. It was a big, Paul, it was a giant place. What held about maybe 400 people.
Mm-hmm.
And
the one on
bar
Western?
was on 73rd and Western.
The one on Western? Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Did you ever hear of Fat Johnny's Hot Dogs?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right across the street from there.
Right. I know the place.
And Fat Johnny's is still there.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. It really is. Yeah. Oh, man. No French fries at Fat Johnny's.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
So we were there from 1954 to 1980, and every weekend there was music with the live radio show. And then we moved over to Central Avenue, 61st and Central, right by Midway Airport. And that was pretty cool because we had a big window in front. The planes would be coming in, and it was really a nice place. Not as big as the old one, but we still had the live radio show. And we had Wild Chicago came out there a couple of times. Remember Wild Chicago?
Yep.
We were on that show a few times. We had a lot of fun. Jenny Jones, remember the Jenny Jones show?
Sure.
They came out and filmed a little segment there. And Ion Chicago. So it was a popular place when sometimes when the Bears would play on a Monday night, the camera crew would come in and just film the planes taking off for Monday Night Football and stup. It was a lot of fun. A lot of good memories there.
I think it was Bobby Skafish, NW's.
Loop.
And the Loop or
Yes.
and XRT used to always give the weather report from the Baby Doll Polka Club.
Yes, Skafish. He's one of my Facebook friends.
Yeah.
And the weather at O'Hare was what weather at the Baby Doll, they instead of staying Midway. So that was kind of cool.
Speaking of radio, did you do something with Jonathan Brandmeier as well?
Oh yeah, we were on his show a lot of times in the morning. We whenever he needed a polka band for Kazimierz Pulaski Day or some kind of Polish holiday, he'd give us a call. We perform on the live radio shows with him. That was a lot of fun.
Now, when did you switch from drums to accordion?
Probably the early 1970s. Yeah, and I started playing. I think I was in grammar school. I took organ lessons, and then that kind of led me to the accordion. And I would still go to my mom and dad's baby doll and just sitting with the bands, just kind of pick up stuff. And I only took lessons for about 6 months, and all the rest I learned by ear. So and I'm still doing it. I can read music, but most if I can hear a song, I could probably play it for you in a couple minutes.
Right. I kind of picked up my guitar with 20 years and was playing along with one of the songs.
Well, there you go. Yeah. And if you can play in the key of C, G, and F and B flat, you can play along with it.
Well, I was going to say a lot of them seem to be in the key of C. Yes.
Yeah. That's my vocal range.
Yeah. That's awesome.
A lot of fun. And then every Saturday, back in the day, my mom and dad had a polka show, a TV show. Right? I bet your parents would have remembered that. It was every Saturday on Channel 26. Which was WCIU. And every Saturday, a live polka show from this, like for 30 years, from 70 something to 90 something, or early 70s. And every Saturday was a live polka show. People
that sounds familiar. I do believe they watched that also, because I believe Lawrence Welk was also on Saturdays.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. My dad's show was on at 6 o'clock, and matter of fact, Lawrence Welk was on at 7:30, if I recall. Right.
Well, speaking of Lawrence Welk, I mean, I know you played. It says you played drums with Myron Florin. And,
yes.
And I remember as a kid listening to Lawrence Welk, and he was introduced the great Myron Florin.
Oh, the way he would say it, yeah. Oh, yeah. We played many festivals with him throughout Wisconsin and Minnesota and the Dakotas and stuff back in the day. What a great accordion player, and what a really a wonderful guy also.
Now, why do you think that polka music is so popular in Wisconsin and the northern Midwest?
It's probably the cheese. I don't know, something in the cheese. What's it? Cheese?
Because it seems like it does have a territorial audience.
The Midwest, it really does. I don't know. But then now, the West Coast and the East Coast, there's a lot of polka bands in New York. There's a lot of polka bands in California. So it is, like you said, more popular in the Midwest. But all worldwide, there's, back in the day, accordions were made in Germany and in Austria and it's Italy. So they've been around forever, and it's a lot of fun music. And you go to a festival and the kids will enjoy it. There we do a lot of Oktoberfests, and long as there's beer, there's a lot of fun. In fact, we met Ray at a little Oktoberfest in Brookfield. Right. In October, you guys came out. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming out that day.
Yeah, I think the Wisconsin area, Minnesota, Dakotas and stuff. A lot of Eastern European and Northern European people settled there, and that was their music.
That's true. I'm half Slovenian and half Polish. And there's the Germans that love the polka. There's the Slovenians, the Serbians, everyone. That's all right. Like you say, right in that area, like up in Minnesota, there was the Iron Range, they called it. Those are all the Slovenian workers there. And they just brought the old time music with them from the old country.
Right. I was going to say from the old country, from, like you said, Germany was popular. Accordion music was popular along with the Polish community as well, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah, German music. That's matter of fact, back in the day, when my mom and dad ran tours to Europe, we played in the Lowenbrau tent for about 10 years straight at the Oktoberfest with just thousands of people. That was really a great memory.
Wow. That's very cool.
And we brought back the chicken dance. Remember the chicken dance? Yeah, it was 1970 something. They were going crazy out there. Like, what the hell is this dance? They're all going like this and doing all this stuff. And we brought it back, and it just went crazy. They're still going kind of strong with the chickens. I think you had a chicken hat on, right? Didn't you? And in Brookfield, I think you had a chicken hat.
Yeah, I still got him.
No.
He wasn't wearing his chicken hat, was he? Oh, boy.
Well, I wish we had a picture of that. Paul left to get
I think
one.
we do.
Oh, geez.
Speaking of Ray coming out and seeing you in October, how have you survived the whole COVID situation?
Pretty much. It was pretty much slowed down a ton. Matter of fact, I just did my end of the year calculations. Since like the middle of March is when all this started, right around St. Patrick's Day, right?
Right.
And I had the whole year booked. We always play around 200 times a year at festivals, VFWs, Moose Lodges, anniversary parties. And so everything got canceled. My whole, my whole playing out book has all the red X's on it, So I had 96 red X's. I just counted the other day.
Wow.
From March to this year, to end of the year.
It's gotta hurt.
Yeah, it does. We've been doing it for
just because of the feeling, right? For feeling from not playing, but I mean, it also hurts the pocketbook, I'm sure as well.
Oh, sure does. Yeah, sure does. We've been doing it ever since I was in my 20s, actually 18 years old, and matter of fact, I just got a couple of cancellations for January already. So the cancellations are still coming in.
Yeah, I was going to ask you next how it looks for 2021.
Right. So far, I had like maybe 11 jobs booked for January, and so far 5 or 6 have been crossed out. Our music is mostly for the older people, so I do a lot of senior dances and stuff.
Sure.
So they're still afraid to come out, which is understandable. But I did towards like June and July and August, we did a lot of outside stuff because the weather was nice. So I had different jobs come in. So we still did a few jobs from March until the end of the year. So it turned out pretty good.
Now,
not as good as before.
Who's all in the boys? Who are all the boys and girls in the band?
And girl, yeah, right? Well, it's my basic band is a 4-piece band. I play the accordion. I have a Baldoni accordion, which was made in Italy. And it has the little MIDI thing set up that has the organ and the piano and all that cool stuff in there, electronic bass. And I have a trumpet player that lives in Blue Island. And I have a saxophone player from Crest Hill, and the girl drummer that lives with me, my wife of 20 years. So 4-piece band, and sometimes we go bigger. We'll add in a second accordion player, or we'll add a guitar player if they want to do some of the old time rock and roll stuff. So it's the basic band is the 4 of us, and then we do a lot of solo. I do a lot of solo work also. So between that, it used to be like close to $200 jobs a year and stuff. So hopefully this year we'll pick up a little bit.
When we saw you in Brookfield, your wife sat in for a song or two, but you had a different drummer.
Yeah, well, that's Joe from Lions, and that was his job. That's his hangout. Joe's what's it called? Joe's Saloon. Yeah, Joe's Saloon. Right. And that's his hangout. So that whenever we play there, we have Joe play along with us. And he's 83 years old, still playing the drums. 83
years old.
Crazy?
Wow, that's great? Awesome.
He's got the good beat going, and that was such a nice day. We had all the problems with the virus still in October, and they set us up outside, and they put the tents out there. That's what we did mostly for the end of the year, was the outside tent stuff. So it turned out pretty nice.
That's awesome. Hope I make it to 83 years old.
Oh, there you go. Right. Oh, you will. Do you play anything? You play instruments?
Yeah, I play guitar.
Okay. And Ray, you're a drummer, right?
Well, guitar.
Guitar. Okay, guitar. Very good. Wonderful. But I love it. The accordion. I've always played the accordion and drums. And I love playing drums too. So if you guys ever need a drummer, give me a call.
All right. Now
my sister played the accordion.
Okay.
So when I was growing up, I dabbled a little bit with her accordion. I never took lessons. I just messed around with it. But
cool.
Now, speaking of accordion, I have a question for you.
Sure.
What's the difference of an accordion versus a button box or a concertina? What are the differences in those?
Okay, they are completely different.
Yeah.
The accordion is just like a piano. So if you strapped a piano on your stomach, you could play an accordion. So it'd be a little heavier. But the accordion
You still have to squeeze, right?
Yeah, right. You still got to go and you squeeze it in and out.
Yep.
And when you squeeze it, you still get the same sound. But when you play the button accordion or a concertina, it's like a harmonica. When you pull in or pull out, you get two different sounds. When you breathe in, breathe out with a harmonica. So the fingering is totally different. It's not your average A, B, C, D. You know, it's C, D. You know, it's all in fifths and stuff. So it's a little more complicated.
And it's buttons instead of a keyboard, correct?
Correct. Yeah, correct. I've got one around here somewhere. Yeah, like my dad bought me one back in 1976, and it's a beautiful button box. And it's just like it's completely different from an accordion. And it's if you play it by ear, you could if you could play like 5 or 6 songs, you could pick up the rest of them because you can kind of feel it like a guitar, you know.
Right.
You can feel where you're going with it.
Right. Well, see, we learned something today, Ray.
Yeah, the concertinas are. I don't play concertina, but I do play the button accordion. I think they say that a concertina is even different from a button box.
Oh, really?
So the fingering is even different. So you got me on that one. So but it's just like anything else. I love the button accordion. It sounds real European. It's got that nicer, deeper sound to it and stuff.
But you get a different sound as you open or close it, right?
No, same sound, but it's the same sound, but you got to play different notes. You can't hold down a G and press in because you'll pull out. You get a different sound, like a harmonica. You know,
right.
With accordion, you can pull it in and out as much as you want and stuff. Right. You know.
Yeah, very interesting. That's very cool.
But yeah, it's a beautiful instrument. You know, there they all are. As a matter of fact, I've got my little Strolling accordion here. I use this is the regular accordion, nice little Italian one from the 1950s. That's my Strolling accordion. And then I have got the button box, which I should show you, but it's in the case over there.
That's all right. You play a little.
Do you have any of your dad's accordions?
I have his original button box that he had back in the 1940s, or no, 1930s actually, yeah. But I never want to play it because I don't want it to fall apart. Right. So I'll take it out and give it a little squeeze once in a while, you know. But my dad, back in the day, back in 1948, my dad wrote the Baby Doll Polka. Right. Now, Ray, you've heard that.
Sure.
Paul, you ever heard this one?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can I play a short version of it for you?
Sure. Go ahead.
Sure.
On the accordion. You are my baby doll. Sing along. You are my baby doll. You are my baby doll. You're my sweetheart now.
That's
awesome. That in 1948.
Awesome.
1948. Wow.
Yeah. And this is the accordion that you play, you know, you get the same note in and out.
Right.
And the button box, if I did that, I would get 2 different notes. I think I got to charge you for that.
See, now we learned something.
Yeah. I think you guys owe me 25 cents.
Okay. Well,
Speaking of 25 cents.
Send me a bill at the end of the month, will you?
Yeah, I'll send you a bill. Yeah. Hey, how about the movie Home Alone? Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Did you know I was the accordion player in the back of the truck?
Right.
As a matter of fact, we do.
Oh, yeah. one of our claim to fame. You know, that was back in 1990.
The Kenosha Kickers.
Correct. Yeah.
That was John Candy's band, right?
Yes. Oh yeah, that was all my band, all my guys.
Right.
And John, that was our Kenosha Kickers for the movie. Yeah.
His band in the movie. Right.
Correct.
Right. Mm-hmm. So how was it working with him? How was it working with
That was great. We filmed. We had I think 3 segments of the movie. We spent 18 hours with John Candy. We were at Meigs Field.
Oh, really?
We did all our stuff at Meigs Field. If you see us in an airport, it's supposed to be in New York, but it's actually Meigs Field.
Right. Who produced that? Who directed that?
John Hughes and Chris Columbus.
John Hughes, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You're the last remaining member of that, the Kenosha Kickers,
yes.
Aren't you?
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, there was 7 of us, and John Candy passed away, and all the other guys in the band passed away, and the last of the Kickers.
Mm-hmm.
Still kicking.
Still kicking. That's right.
Yeah. The funny thing about our segment when we were in the back of the truck with John Candy and Kathleen O'Hara, we were in the back of the truck with them, and we're playing our music. and it looks like we're driving down the road, but we're standing still. We're sitting in the back of a budget truck at a warehouse at Meg's Field, and the camera crew are outside the truck pushing it back and forth. So it looks like we're going down the street. But they're actually, they're pushing it, each side, so modern technology,
Yeah.
It's kind of discouraging when you actually see what goes on behind the scenes like that.
God, yeah.
The things that are happening aren't really happening.
No, John Candy was just great. We had breakfast, lunch, and dinner with him, and just cracking jokes. And John Hughes was a lot of fun. He was Candy's telling us a joke, and Chris Columbus is trying to direct everything and trying to make a movie. And John Candy's in the back of the truck with us telling us a joke, and he's stopping production because we're listening to his joke. And it was just funny, It was a fun time.
How did you get picked to do that or get hooked up with the
through my mom and dad's bar, the Baby Doll Polka Club. They needed a polka band, and when in Chicago, if you need a polka band, you call Korosa.
Right.
So that's how it all. And we went there, and I think we had to play a song for them at New Chair East. That's where their studio was.
Right,
we went there, and up on the north side, Winnetka.
Right. Well, that's where the movie was basically filmed at.
Correct. Yeah.
Or the home was there anyway.
Right. That's right. Then I think they had their studio in that high school that closed down, New Chair East or West or something like that. And they called us, and they liked it, and we laid a soundtrack down. We had to go to a studio to record our music. And then we a couple of days of that, and a couple of days of filming with John Candy, and we never thought it would be this big, right?
Yeah, it's a great movie, and it's a classic actually.
30 years ago, isn't that crazy? 30 years.
Yeah.
You're a legend.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, in my own mind. Yeah.
Now tell us about some of the music that you've created and that you've written. I know you've got 12 albums out.
Pardon me?
You've got 12 albums out?
Yeah.
Wow.
We started with the album and the 8 tracks.
Right.
With the 8 tracks and the cassettes, and then of course the CDs. Now we're doing this little they call it the polka stick. You stick in your USB thing, I call it a polka stick,
Right.
And my first recording was back in the early 70s, and I heard it happen to have right here. It's called Not Your Average Polka Band.
Okay.
And that was one of our first recordings. We did it at Eddie Blazonczyk's studio in Chicago. He had a recording studio back in the day. And we had some original stuff. I wrote a song, our theme song, The Boys from Illinois. I wrote the words to that. I wrote a nice song for my daughter called the Lauren Marie Polka. I wrote a little waltz for my sisters called the Three Sisters Waltz. I wrote a song for my wife called the Two and More Polka. I debuted that at our wedding 20 years ago. And so I wrote about maybe 7 or 8 songs, a couple nice waltzes on the button box, Tirolhof waltz. I was sitting in Munich, Germany, looking outside on the deck, playing my button box, and I just started playing, and it's a nice little waltz. So maybe about 5 or 6 originals, but all that we play all the standard songs, the Roll Out the Barrel, the Bear Barrel Polka, all the ones you like. I Don't Want Her, You Can Have Her, She's a Packer Fan, I mean, yeah, but it's fun. Yeah, we and every time we do the Bears theme song, we do the bear fight song. But I don't think we have any fight this week.
Are you still writing any music, or?
Well, I did write in March when there was no place to play. I had my accordion and all my stuff set up downstairs, and I wrote My Pajamas Polka.
Well, I'm at home in my pajamas, waiting for the news all clear. Mom and kid are fine, girl drummers online, watching the stocks take a schnitzel. I might shave and shower later, maybe want to get the mail. Hope you're doing fine, so pour yourself some wine. Stay safe and I'll talk to you later. Hey!
And it's a cool song because I've been in my pajamas for a few months,
Right.
and it's on YouTube. You could go to YouTube. It's My Pajamas Polka, and it goes. I'm at home in my pajamas, waiting for the sound all clear. It's a cute little song.
Yeah.
and it's on YouTube. And that got a lot of hits on it too. So that's about the latest thing I wrote. My Pajama Polka.
So now you've got some awards as well. A Lifetime Achievement Award in 2012, and It's Time to Polka was nominated for Song of the Year, correct?
Yeah. Well, I forgot I wrote that song too. Well, yeah, a couple of years ago. Yeah, it's one of my original ones. That's our latest CD. It's Time to Polka, and that's I wrote that song, and the National Polka Association was nominated for Song of the Year that year.
It's time to polka. It's time to polka. It's time to have some fun tonight. So grab your partner, your polka partner, and twirl around the floor all night. 'Cause we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. So party and polka all night.
So, and then the other awards from the Chicago Music Academy, that was a lot of fun. We had fun with that, and the United Polka Association was a big thing. I was accordion player of the year there. I got a Frankie Yankovic award. Did you ever hear of Frankie Yankovic?
Oh, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's the Polka King.
That's Weird Al's dad, right?
Who's that? Oh, yeah,
That's Weird Al's dad.
Yeah, they're right. That's what they claim, you know.
Right.
And he was a great guy. He's a great legend. Frankie and my dad were great friends back in the day. You know, my dad was born in 1918, and I think Yankovic was born around the same time too. And they used to tour together and travel together, and Yankovic would play at my dad's bar and stuff. So I loved his music. He was my dad, and Yankovic were two of my great influences on my style and the way I like to play. Yeah. We even did a Pepsi commercial. Did you hear about that?
Oh, yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
I did see that, and I looked it up.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. It was back in 2000 or 2001, I think. They flew us to New York, and we did the commercial, and it was all about I think if you buy a 6-pack or a 12-pack or a case of Pepsi, you get the little coupons. You can create your own CD. So it ran all year, and we got a lot of play on that. It was kind of cool. So something always comes up. You never know. The polka thing it'll never die. You know, it's people say it's not that popular, but I disagree. I've been doing it for over 50 years, and I've been playing a lot every year, and it's fun music.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's a lot of fun.
And I agree with you. I don't think it'll ever die.
No, it's a lot of fun. Hey, back in the 80s, I had a rock and roll drummer play with me.
You did?
You never guess who it was.
Who was that?
Smashing Pumpkins, Jimmy Chamberlain.
Oh, Jimmy Chamberlain.
Yeah, he played drums with me for 4 years back in the early 80s.
No kidding.
Isn't that crazy?
That's wild.
He's from Joliet. A lot of my friends and band members are from Joliet. And friend of a friend hooked us up. And he just, what a great drummer at the time, you know. And who would have thought that he'd just keep going and going. On 45, we did the chicken dance on a 45.
Oh, yeah.
Pardon me. Let's see. Are you still there?
Oh, yeah.
No, we left.
Look at this. The bird at the chicken dance on a 45.
Wow.
You have any of these? Jay Chamberlain, hard to tell, but Jimmy Chamberlain right there.
Very cool.
So that's one of our things too. He was such a great kid. Well, yeah. We'd be playing a polka job, and he brings all these drums with him. I go, Jimmy, he's got 3 or 4 cymbals. He's got rototoms, all this stuff. I go, what are you doing with all this stuff? You don't need all this. I don't want to say shit, but you don't need all this stuff, Yeah. But it was a great experience for us, and he still mentions it once in a while too. I retired from a real job a few years ago, and I was still playing and working. That was kind of fun, and just love to play. Our polka music I've been doing it ever since I was 7 years old, and just love it. And we meet so many people. And lately, before the pandemic, we were doing a lot of weddings, but we were like the token polka band. Because the aunts and uncles and grandparents want to hear some old time music.
Sure. And the bands that they have, or even the DJs don't play it right.
Right, there you go.
Right.
So they would have the DJ play, and then about between 10, 11 o'clock at night, we'd bring our accordions in and drums, and people would have a few drinks. And they play polka. We play polka for about a half hour. And that's what we've been doing. So if you ever need a polka band, count us in.
All right. Now you said, I noticed it says you played some rock and roll. What kind of, and you said sometimes you have a guitar player or something.
Yeah, we do the old stuff. Johnny Be Good, that kind of the twist, that kind of stuff, and
on the accordion?
On the accordion, yeah. Right. Play my 3 chords, C, F, and G. 3-chord progression.
Right.
And that's a lot of fun. We do old time country music. We do the achy breaky heart. They like to do the line dances still,
Sure.
And but mostly, besides our polkas, we play the old time music, the Frank Sinatra, the Dean Martin music, stuff like that. So people like to hear the ballroom stuff, So we not just play polkas, we do a variety of stuff also.
So how do we find you social media wise or on the web or whatever?
Yeah, well, that's great. We are on Facebook, of course. Just you could Eddie Korosa. Google me, or not Google me, but I'll friend you.
Right.
But the main thing is our website. We have a website, EddieKorosaJr.com.
Okay.
And that's out there. Or just Google Eddie Korosa and a lot of stuff comes up. And we'd love to come out and play, So if you or anyone out there in your listening audience, we're a polka band that we play old time music too. And Oktoberfest is great. We strap on the Lederhosen. So
Nice.
we play all the good Lederhosen, the good Oktoberfest music. And so
I see you're wearing them now, right?
Well, I got my sweatshirt on. Yeah, I got the Lederhosen around somewhere. Yeah, I still got my pajamas on. We talking? Had them on since March. No. I've got my German hat and everything, a chicken dance. So we're always ready for that. And but we're always ready to roll. We love to play, and this is really fun to do this with you guys. And I was watching or listening to some of your podcasts. And I didn't hear about too many polka bands on your podcast, so this might be a first for all of us, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah, it definitely is. But we love to, like I said earlier, we were talking before the show that we love getting the inside scoop on what's happening with some of the bands and some of the musicians and some of the backstory. And obviously your backstory is great with your dad and the Baby Doll Polka Club and everything else. It's very cool.
Well, I appreciate that. We love it, and all the bands out there, hopefully next year things will be great, and I know a lot of the guys you've interviewed they played all the festivals, so hopefully some of these festivals will come back,
Right. Yeah, hopefully that's all we can do is keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, we enjoyed those church festivals and some of the summer fests. I think the last time we played one, we opened up for remember Deep Purple?
Oh yeah.
They used to do the tours of all the festivals and stuff. And Joel Daly and the Sundowners, a real good country band. That was a lot of fun. Well, Ides of March, those guys are great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'd be the first band start off the festival with the polkas, and all of a sudden all these motorcycle guys come in. Here comes the Ides of March, all on motorcycles. It was a lot of fun, a lot of good memories.
Yeah, we've interviewed Jim Peterick and a couple of the guys from the Ides of March, and they're great entertainers and great musicians as well.
Oh, definitely. I love I checked a lot of your podcasts out and listened to them. So it's a great thing to listen to, and it's nice you have them archived like that. It's wonderful.
Well, thank you. We're hoping you share this one when it comes out, and we'll keep you posted on that. But in the meantime, thanks for joining us today.
Well, Paul,
thanks a lot, Eddie.
Well, pleasure meeting you. And Ray, thank you very much. Thanks to you that I'm here. So I appreciate it. And I hope to see both of you guys sometime this summer.
All righty.
I'm sure you will.
All right. Thanks. Polka on. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, that was Eddie Korosa Jr. I guess he said his dad was the prince, one time called the Prince of Polka. But I guess if his dad was the king of polka, he'd be the Prince of Polka, right?
He would be. He would be. Or a duke.
But kind of different for the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast. A
little bit. I'm still dancing around a little bit here.
But a musician nonetheless, and he's been around Chicago forever. So we felt we had to talk to Eddie, and we did, and that's what we got.
Great guy. I mean, when he's out and about again, you got to go see him. I mean, I've seen him at some outdoor festivals. It's just a lot of fun, a lot of good time.
Yes.
And anybody can polka. I really don't think there's any. I think you just bounce around. I don't think there's any kind of steps.
I beg to differ with you there. I think some true polka dancers would argue that fact.
Well, I'm not a true polka dancer, so that's why I say what I do. But then I usually say a lot of things that I
Well, you
probably
wear a
shouldn't
chicken
say.
hat, so
I do wear a chicken hat from time to time, yes.
so that gives me an answer right there, I think.
Yeah, you are correct. And then I do the chicken dance at time to time. I've done that, and the greatest thing about that, some of this
That
music
says a
goes,
lot for your character, you know.
Well, I had a drinking problem for a while, and then one day I did the hokey pokey, and I turned myself around.
Oh, did you?
All righty then. Well, thanks for joining us this week. Make sure you look up the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66. That's where our usual studios are, except now we're Zooming everything. But soon we'll get back to the studio. Make sure you check out the museum. Donate. They're doing a lot of great work over there. They're looking for some money to help out with new doors and flooring and stuff like that. And it's coming along really well. And a lot of you people out there have already donated, and we thank you for that.
You can become a member for mere pittance.
Pittance. I believe it's $25 to be a charter member.
So, all right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you next time right here on
See you next week
on the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
Bye-bye.
This is Paul Martin
and Ray the Roadie, and we're here to talk to you about GHS strings.
That's right, Ray. Whether you play electric guitar, acoustic, or bass,
or even banjo, mandolin, or ukulele, then GHS has the strings for you.
GHS strings are easy to play with a rich, full balanced tone available in many different gauges.
Great for all musical styles, so if you play
with the best. Play GHS strings.
Rock and roll, Chicago.